heal. Hey guys, welcome back to my podcast. It's not even welcome back, honestly. I think I'm saying welcome back because I've been recording. There was an episode I put out and then I ended up having to delete it. Actually, it was a mistake, but yeah, so I'm kind of re-recording now. And you guys won't believe how late it is. I have been contemplating going back and forth with myself about recording this episode just because I didn't feel, I don't know, I think I'm still nervous about this podcast. When I started it, I was so confident and I had so much confidence in what I was doing. I wasn't scared or freaked out or anxious or anything. But I think as the days go by, once I had put it out and I've put out the trailer episodes, I kind of got a little bit nervous. So yeah, if you know me, then you know I also have a YouTube channel that I have been trying to resurrect for years. But I've just always felt like I needed to be in a better space mentally in order for me to put out content or to be out there in a sense. And I think that has really kind of held me back a lot in terms of doing the things that I wanted to do, in terms of just achieving the things that I wanted to set my mind to achieve. So it's kind of been very difficult because I find that, I'm in my head a lot, and that's not really helpful. But also, besides being in my head, I just always think that I have to be good, I have to be happy. Or I don't know, I have to be in a certain space, emotionally, in order for me to be able to be out there again. So I think this is my way of kind of fighting through that and doing the things that I want to do, irrespective of how I'm feeling. And I actually think that's why my podcast is so important, especially for me right now, because I'm basically telling myself that I don't need to be happy in order to do things that can make me happy. And I don't need to feel capable to do things that I know I am capable of doing, And I won't even lie, I had this plan to wake up today and spend the rest of my day shooting or recording, and then I didn't do that. And then I've been receiving really great feedback from the trailer episode, and that kind of boosted my confidence, and I'm like, okay, now I'm doing this, And yeah, so this is the first episode, the first real episode, and I'm going to publish this one no matter what, I promise. Yeah, I had a topic, right, that I was thinking about yesterday, because I also kind of don't want to ramble on when I'm talking to you guys. I want to kind of stick to a certain topic, although I know that I do tend to get carried away sometimes. But the topic for today is Talk 30 to Me. That's the title, Talk 30 to Me. But what I essentially wanted to talk about is what I'm learning in my 30th year of living. I'm not yet 30, but I will be 30 in a few months. And oh my gosh, I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know if I'm scared or happy, or I have a whole lot of emotions about it. Mostly, I think a lot of people will actually also understand or relate to this, but feeling so underaccomplished, I remember the other day I was on Facebook, and I don't know, I think somebody asked, what are you feeling right now, or something like that. There was like a question that someone put up, and I commented, I feel like I've lost half of my life to pain and grief. And actually, I will say this, that's how the podcast came about. Like, that's when I was like, actually, I need to talk about these things, and I've kind of been very like isolated from my friends, so I don't really have these conversations a lot, but I have them with myself, But yeah, so somebody put that up, and I was like, I feel like I've lost half of my life to pain and grief. And I say this because for the past few years, like, I was just I've been thinking so much about my life, about just like the things that I've had to go through and enjoy. Like, how I remember like 2018, I was like at the peak of my depression. Like, I was in and out of a mental institute. I was dropping out of school because I literally could not cope at school. And at the time, like, it's so wild because at the time I couldn't really pinpoint what was bothering me. Oh, this makes me actually so emotional. But like, I remember going, like, when I started doing therapy, and I think at the time all I knew was that I needed help, but I didn't really know what kind of help I needed, because even in therapy, when it's like, what do you need to talk about? Like, what do you need? What is bothering you? What is making you feel like you don't want to live? And at the time, like, I mean, I would bring up stuff that at the time meant so much to me, that I felt like really bothered me. But when I think about it now, and I think about how hard life has gotten ever since, and how at that time I didn't see a point in like continuing with my life, and things were really not that bad, right? And from then, like, from being officially like diagnosed with depression in 2018, after just years of me really battling with my mental health, but honestly and truly, I didn't know how bad things were until 2018. And I think that also just had to do with the environment that I was in, that really forced me to tap into the things that were bothering me, or why I was so depressed. But yeah, so I'm losing my train of thought telling the story. But yeah, I'm thinking now that back then in 2018, I thought my life was over. I thought, I don't know, maybe it was also having a child at a young age that kind of made me feel like I had ruined my life. That, I couldn't move forward with my life. I don't know. Maybe the young me just thought my life was doomed because, oh my gosh, you're a mom now, and yeah, maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But anyway, now in hindsight, I'm just like, girl, like, things have gotten hard. Like, life has gotten so hard. My mental health has took the biggest knock ever, because from 2018 to, grieving my dad, to a few years later grieving my mom, grieving relationships, I remember 2021, I don't even know how I survived that specific year, and truly and honestly, I don't even remember half of the stuff that happened that year, because I was on flight mode. Like, I was just on survival mode. It wasn't even about anything other than just getting through the next day for me, And when I think about that year, when I think about the things that I've had to get over, or like the things that I've had to go through, and just how sad life was for me. And now I'm 30 and I'm just like, yeah, like those like 5 years, 2018, 19, 20, 21, 23, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, but like those few years, so many things have happened, so many hurtful things have happened, but I'm still here. But I know that at the time, really, I could never put myself in a position where I was healthy enough, like mentally, to fight through some things. Like I said, 2018, I was in and out of like a mental institute, also while trying to go back to school, and that also not working out because I was in such a bad space mentally. So it's just like I never felt the space to be able to kind of fight through what was happening there. Honestly, like all I knew was that I needed to get through the next day. I can't tell you guys how many times I've had to give up, or like I wanted to give up, and I've had to like fight through that like feeling, right? And next thing you know, it's like 2 years later. Next thing you know, it's like 3 years later. And I think maybe also that's the thing about grief and pain. It's like you think that it will go away, or you think that you will reach a point in your life where you stop hurting, but genuinely it never stops. It never stops. Like new things happen, you meet new people hurt you. You think 2 years from now I would have probably forgotten about this person hurting me. You meet someone else who hurts you. You go through other stuff in life that hurts you. 2016 I lost my dad, and I thought, oh my gosh, like how do I go on? I lost my dad while at the same time I'm expecting a baby. Literally in the same week I found out about my dad passing, I found out I was pregnant. It was the most conflicting time of my life, because it's like, Lord, how? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, am I supposed to be celebrating my pregnancy, or am I supposed to be mourning my dad? And then you are pregnant and you have all these emotions, and oh my gosh, it was a nightmare, okay? But my point is that you go through that, and then you think you'll be fine in like the next few years, and in the next few years you lose another parent, and you think, give it time, you'll be fine in the next few years. And things just literally keep happening, and life just never stops, right? So essentially I think that's what I meant when I was like, I feel like I've lost half of my life to pain and to grief, right? I think this is the first year for me where I sit with myself and I just have to look myself in the mirror and be honest with myself about certain things, and just be like, nobody is actually going to save you from all of this. In fact, there's something that I wrote. I don't know if this is going to stop if I try to look for it, because I'm actually using my phone today to record this episode. But let's see. Okay. So I wrote something that I don't even know when this was. It was in March, right? I said, I think I'm finally realizing that I cannot outrun my pain, and that nothing and no one can actually heal these parts of myself that hurt so bad. I feel like I've made so many mistakes. I feel like some I'm still suffering the consequences of, and I'm having to force myself to account for them without guilting myself. No. What did I say? Suffering the consequences of my mistakes and having to force myself to account for them without guilt tripping myself is difficult. I wish I did so many things differently, right? And then I just go on to name those things that I feel like I kind of lost it. But yeah, I actually say some really hurtful stuff also there. There's a part where I said that I also feel so small in a world so big, and I feel insignificant and invaluable. That is hectic. Half of the time I write these things, guys, and I don't even remember writing them. And wow, okay, so I'm just gonna stop there with that. But yes, to tie it all up, I feel like I needed, like, I'm at a point now where I've had to stop running from my pain, stop running from the parts of myself that hurt, and actually just face them. And it's not like easy. I mean, the whole of last week, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to get out of bed. I did not want to function. I just wanted to sleep and like just throw a pity party for myself. And this week I'm trying to do better, and I'm trying to be very cognizant of the fact that I'm sad, like to be cognizant of my feelings, to feel my feelings, to honor my feelings, and to hold space for myself in those feelings. And like I said also in that note that I wrote, that it's very hard for me to not shame myself or guilt trip myself for for how I feel, or for the things that I feel I should have done better, you know. So I'm working on that, and it's not easy, but it's something that I want all of us to also do. I really want us to get to a point where we don't shame ourselves so much, where we hold like ourselves with grace, where we give ourselves so much grace. And I know it's difficult, because it's difficult for me too. I am also struggling a lot, but yeah, so I don't know if that answers what the things that I've learned in my 30th year. But yeah, I guess what I have learned is to not shame myself and guilt myself, that being like the first thing. I've also just learned, I think I've just kind of come to terms with the fact that life moves on whether or not you are moving on. Life goes on whether or not you find yourself stuck in the same place. And yeah, I guess the other stuff is, you know, feeling like you just have not you've not done enough, you've not accomplished enough, you've not lived to your fullest potential. You know, sometimes it feels like you never will be able to live like in your glory because of like where you are mentally, you know. And to be quite honest, you don't even know what it would take for you to be in a better space mentally. You don't even know, like, what is it? If somebody was like, I can give you this right now, and if you can tell me that this will guarantee you a peaceful life, or this will guarantee you happiness, or this will guarantee you to look yourself in the mirror and actually say, like, I'm happy, I don't know what that thing would be. I really don't. But I do know that my attempt in trying to find out at least how I can live up to my best and live up to my fullest potential, and to see, at least give myself the chance to become the person that I know I can be, even though I don't feel it. Yeah, that is something that I'm kind of trying to learn right now at this space, at this point in my life. And yeah, so maybe you guys can also share what you're learning in like the year that you're in. If you're 30, I know a lot of us are going through it. I really know a lot of my age mates, a lot of my friends, we are really struggling just with life and with the troubles that come with adulting. I know it's showing a lot of us flames, so maybe you guys can also share what you're learning as you turn 30, what you're trying to let go of, what you're trying to heal, child. What you're trying to heal. I just said I'm just trying to heal guilt tripping myself or shaming myself. Maybe you guys can also share what else you guys are trying to heal from. I think maybe it will be also a thing that I do weekly, like maybe every week before I start an episode or after I start, at the end of an episode, we just mention something that we're trying to heal from, because I know it can be a lot of things, but we can like take it slice by slice, bit by bit, and if there's like a certain part of you that you're trying to navigate through, we can find a way through that. So yeah, I guess this is the first episode of Real Girls Heal Things. Real Girls Heal Things. Thank you so much for listening to me. If you have made it this far, let me know on the comments, or send me a text, send me a message, or anything if you want to have more, if you want to talk more about this conversation. Please do share my podcast. It's been like really freeing and liberating to actually talk about these things. And you know what, I really should have done this a long time ago, child. I should have done this a long time ago. But anyway, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Stay well, stay happy, and let's continue to heal. See you guys.